So as I now walk between residential houses and cars parked everywhere, and nature sort of curbed, the wild prospect of adventure curbed into material possessions and the physical material domain, I think it's appropriate to address why I call Tabletop Adventures Tabletop Adventures. So before role-playing games were introduced into the digital realm and video games took on the term role-playing games, RPGs, the term RPG was just simply what it is today. You sit around the table, you have books, you have dice, you build stories, you craft characters, you go on an adventure. Very analog. Then video games came in and they took over the term RPGs to a point where now tabletop RPGs have to be called TTRPGs. Well, I refuse to do that, first of all, but also I feel like the term tabletop as a term is actually have become more useful now, because now you can use tabletop as a term for the limitations that exist when you are addressing adventures. And there are limitations that you need to overcome. So in effect, the concept of a tabletop adventure has become a journey in itself, with challenges and with discoveries, as I'm finding out today. I'm finding out that if you have a lot of materials, raw materials, you can actually build a very satisfying immersion on your tabletop. The tactile aspect is important. It is also important to just have something that is tangible, that you roll dice for combat for a reason, because it feels good to chuck these little plastic things and get a result that is physical, that demonstrates the physical combat. But that goes with everything. So the contribution of board games into tabletop adventure, the contribution that I wanted to have, is physical, it's tactile, it's immersive, and it has its own value. But you need to strip away the limitations of it in order for it to become an adventure. And that's why I call tabletop adventures not just adventures, which is the going forward prospect of something very positive with a slight negativity to it, because you have to feel the adventure. You also have the tabletop aspect, which may contradict the feeling of it. It exhibits the limitations, but it also has the slightly positive notion of the tactile immersion of it.